Again.
Nice to
Good,
see
good,
you.
good. How was the trip?
It was
Really
good.
It was
good.
good?
Yeah,
It was
really
good.
good.
Okay, cool beans, cool beans. So, rules for reintroduction.
Yeah.
In the beginning, no
Yeah.
touch, no talk, no eye contact.
Okay.
And the reason why we do that, of course, he's going to be excited.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure you guys are excited as well.
Yeah.
But as we know, he's already an excitable dog,
Yes.
right? So we don't want that to turn into chaos, right?
Okay.
Now, he's still going to be excited, but we don't want you guys to feed into that
Got it.
and escalate it, right?
Yeah.
Because again, the most important thing to him is you guys changing how you interact with him so he can change how he interacts with you,
Yeah.
right? So, and one of those things is not giving him affection when he's in an excited state of mind,
Okay.
because that's when the nipping and all of that stuff happens, right?
Yeah.
So now we have to let him know that the only time he gets affection is when he's calm.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go grab him
Okay.
and we're going to work our way into the door. And
Okay.
what I mean by that is, again, he's going to be excited.
Yeah.
So I don't want him to enter this threshold being in an excessive excited state of mind, right?
Okay.
I want him coming in calm
Okay.
so that way he can process
Got it.
easier. You
So
know,
do we just stand there?
you just talk to me. You
Okay.
just act like he doesn't exist.
Okay.
Yeah. So any questions that you have to me, you know, of course, we're going to talk normal.
Yeah.
I'm going to be kind of explaining what I'm doing as I'm doing it.
Okay.
But just act like he doesn't exist.
Okay.
And then I'll let you guys know when it's time to start interacting.
Okay.
All right. So let me go grab him. I got to put his harness and everything on, but I'm going to go grab him
Okay.
and then we'll be in.
Sounds good.
Okay, cool beans. All right, big fella. It's time to go home. All right, let me set this here while we put the harness on. Oh, let me set that there while we put the harness on. Come on, big fella. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. There we go. You gotta put it on. There we go. All right, Cooper goes home. Okay. Let's go, Cooper. Let's go, buddy. There we go. All right, big fella. Hey, Cooper. Cooper, yes, come. Come. Come on. Yes, good boy. Yes, there we go. Good boy. Nope. Come. Yes, good boy. Nope. Good boy. Good boy. Nope. Come on. Good boy. Okay. Nope. Come on. Okay, guys. So just to give an explanation of what I'm doing. So as you can see, he's super excited, right? He's trying to bolt through that door, right? Now this is where the impulse. Good boy. This is where the impulse comes in, right? So this is what I call threshold or barrier training, right?
Okay.
Now, this is important, of course, because one of the most important things is you want to have control of specifically this threshold,
Yeah.
because there's no control out here, right? You can't control when a car is coming. You can't control any of those unknown variables.
Yeah.
So obviously, we don't want him to just run out that door
Right.
when you open the door, right?
Right.
So what we have to create with him is an understanding that when that door opens, you stay calm. That doesn't mean you get excited, right?
Right.
So now what we're doing, and you can hear the anxiety and frustration kind of building up, right?
Yeah.
So all I'm waiting for him to do is submit to the fact that we're not going through that door until you calm, right? So all of this here, I'm not going to say anything. If he starts barking excessive, hey, nope. I may give him a correction to let him know, hey, I can take, you being excited, but now you're being disrespectful, right? So that's where that little correction came in to let him know that's too much. Let's reel it back, right? So the most important thing for me is I have to go in the door when I'm comfortable. Right? Right now, I'm not comfortable. He's too excited. Right? So all I'm going to do is mostly wait him out. That's literally, I'm not going to say too much to him again, unless he gets excessive. He starts doing that excessive barking, right? Then we have to have a conversation like, hey, calm down, right? So this I can take, right? Because I know he's excited. Nope. I know, good boy. Hey, Cooper, sit. Sit. Thank you. Good boy. Okay. So now the most important thing about speaking or communicating with the dog in an excited state of mind like this is I'm never going to try to talk to him or give words when he's excessive, right? It doesn't even go in one ear and out the other. It goes straight over his head, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is get his attention. How do I know I have his attention? If I have his eyes, right? If he's looking at me, then there's a much higher probability I have his brain. Because typically if he's looking at me, that means he's looking to me for direction. So now I have the ability, good boy, right? So especially anytime I get it automatically like this, I always want to recognize that because I want to let him know this is what I like, right? Good boy, yes. So now, right, he's starting to submit, meaning, right, he still has his moments where he wants to go, but it's calming down, right? That excessive running back and forth, right, is calming down. And if you notice, it doesn't really take too long, right? It hasn't even really been 5 minutes yet. Some dogs are different, right? But he's getting there, right? So this is what I'm waiting for is this moment. Now, the next time he looks, right, I'm going to tell him to sit. Then we're going to proceed forward, right? Good. Yes, good boy. Thank you. Good boy. Nope. Cooper, sit. Hey, sit. Cooper, sit. Thank you. Good boy. Heel. Come. As soon as he starts moving a little faster than me, we stop. Because again, the number one rule to walking a dog right now, it's kind of almost impossible for him to literally pull you, right? But he can still be rude on the walk, meaning he's all over the place. He's not in tune with what you're doing, right? So with him, that's what I'm looking for. Are you in tune with me, right? If I just stop and don't say nothing to you, do you recognize it, right? If you don't, that means you're not in tune with me, right? So as soon as he starts moving faster than I like, I stop. Because what I'm telling him is, no, 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 no. This is my hunt. You got to follow me, right? Does that make sense? Yeah. Cooper, heel. Over here. Yes. Now that we at the door, now this is a big deal, right? Because he knows this is the sweet spot. I mean, home is sweet. Home sweet. That was ironic. I didn't plan that. I didn't plan that. So he knows once we get in here, normally the fun starts, right? He knows the dog is in there. He knows the cat is in there. He knows you guys are in there. So now, ironically, from here to here, once we get in here is a new day. Literally starts over. All of it goes out the window. And the reason why is because that's how dogs are wired. They live moment to moment, right? And that's what I tell people all the time. Even though we're mammals and we're very similar in our emotions, how we express them is far more advanced than how they express theirs, right? We can think about 5 or 10 years ahead of time. They can't think 10 seconds ahead of time. You see what I mean? So especially when you're dealing with a puppy that already has high energy and low impulse control, it's even worse. It's probably about 2 or 3 seconds, right? So because I know that about them, right? My father used to always tell me, when someone tells you who they are, believe them. So I know who he is, right? So I'm not going to get mad when he shows me who he is, right? So I know he's impulsive. I know he's very easily excitable.
Yeah.
So now it's up to me to make sure I manage this, right?
Yeah.
And communicate it to him properly, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Cooper. Yes, good boy. Right there. Sit. Thank you. Good boy. All right. Ready to go? So perfect example, right? I asked him to sit
Yeah.
and he got up. Perfect moment to hold him accountable. Because that's the only way he's gonna understand. If I tell him to sit and then I allow him to get up when he wants to get up, the sit means nothing. He'll put his butt down for a second, but then it's coming right back up.
Right.
Sit means sit
Yeah.
until I ask you to do something else.
Right.
All right? Heel. Yes. Yes, good boy. Heel. Okay. All right, cool. I don't want to let all your heat out. We can close it up now. Cool beans. So you see how that works though?
Yeah.
Every moment for me, I want to control every moment and every thought.
Yeah.
Right? Because if I don't, he
He's
will.
gonna do it.
He's gonna
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
Right? There's no question about it.
Right.
There's absolutely no question about it.
Yeah.
And because ironically, I deal with a lot of big dogs that have way lower confidence than him.
Oh yeah.
And it's funny. Oh yeah, he's a very confident dog. But you know what's funny? A lot of Pomeranians tend to be confident dogs.
Until they get confronted by a big dog.
Well, even
Not
some,
even that.
no, some. I mean, every dog is susceptible to that. But most Pomeranians that I've dealt with, they will confront big dogs.
If
And
they're bigger dogs.
He wasn't scared with any of the bigger dogs around him, right?
no,
He just totally
no.
fine.
Now I kept them separate, right? So he could still kind of interact with them through the fence.
Yeah.
And you probably saw like the way I had the kid.
Yeah.
He could still interact with them through the fence, but I never had him with the bigger dogs simply because of the size difference.
Yeah.
You know, even if it wasn't like a fight or something like that, just them playing a simple paw swipe could
Could do some damage.
could do some damage. So I kept him with the smaller puppies, not even some of my bigger puppies. And just like the smaller dogs,
Yeah.
I kept him with, just for safety reasons. So yeah, yep. So any questions on that so far?
So he seems to be doing pretty well right now. Like just
Yes.
sat there calm. Oh, no, spoke too soon.
Yeah, it's okay.
But
It's okay. But see, that's it's not him messing up is not a bad thing. That's just an opportunity
Yeah.
to train, right?
Yeah.
He's gonna mess up. He's gonna do it. He is he's a dog. He's impulsive, right? And he's still learning.
Yeah.
Remember, it's only been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So we put a lot of work in to lay the foundation,
Yeah.
but he's still not really trained. It
Yeah.
really takes
A lot.
with consistent work,
Yeah.
6 months to a year to really train a dog.
Okay.
Like really train a dog.
So when we
Mm-hmm.
when we come home anytime and we can take the same tact, then we don't get
Absolutely.
excited. So when we come home and we see him, we just ignore him for the first 5 minutes.
If he's too excited,
okay.
Yes.
Wait till he's calm.
absolutely.
Okay.
And simply for him, because he's so excitable and that excited nature leads to him expressing himself with
the
bites
nipping.
and stuff like that,
Yeah.
he has to calm down.
Which
Yeah.
is completely normal, right? Like it's normal for palms to bite and nip like that.
They can be mouthy. Yeah, they're known to be mouthy.
But
Yep.
you can train it out of them.
Of
just
course.
By keeping this.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's all about communication, right?
Yeah.
What happens normally is when you get confronted with that excited energy, pick him up, pet him.
Yeah.
So you're telling him that it's okay to do that,
Yeah.
right? But if you correct him,
Yeah.
right? Or again, depending on the situation, if it's just super excited energy and he's kind of like just running around in circles and stuff like that, you can kind of ignore that until he calms down, right?
Okay.
Because it's only going to be, a 2 to 5 minutes maybe
Yeah.
before he just kind of sits down and relaxes.
And is this like
Mm-hmm.
the rest of his life or just during like the first year to get him
So-
to the foundation?
I can't give you a direct answer as far as how long it's going to take because every dog is a little different.
Sure.
But I can tell you within a year, it'll be 180% better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, his better may never be him.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's fine though.
Yeah.
Because we like the energy.
Yeah.
I've seen him bounce
Yeah.
around. We
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. So it's all about,
Fighting and
Just something that
barking,
they
Yes.
torturing
can
the
control.
cat.
yeah. So it'll definitely be better. But he's still going to be him.
Yeah.
He's still going to be Cooper. It's just, he's going to have more control.
Yeah.
He's going to have more understanding.
We're setting those boundaries.
Exactly. And that's what it's all about. It's about rules, boundaries, and limitations. And people ask me all the time, should I let my dog do this? You can let your dog do whatever you want when you want him to do it.
Yeah.
That's the key thing. Not
Yeah.
when
So
he
like
wants
when
to
I
do
take
it.
him out for a walk, if I want him to, I do want him to explore when we get on the path.
Okay.
I want him to see new things,
Yeah.
smell new smells.
Sure.
So letting him run around when he's with me, that's cool. But when it's time to heal, then
Yes.
you gotta let him.
It's all about, so
Yeah.
the command is free, right? So when it's
Yeah.
his time to kind of go do the doggy thing,
Yeah.
okay, Cooper, free.
Yeah.
And just let him do his thing. That's why I love the retractable leash.
I want him to smell
Yeah.
new things, explore, learn.
Yeah.
Well, we normally have him off lead when he's doing that anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
He'll
Well,
know.
say normally we're
He'll
doing
know.
for a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the words are like sit,
Mm-hmm.
heal,
Yes. Come down.
calm,
Yep.
free.
Free. Yeah. Those are the 5 basic commands.
Okay.
Yeah. 5
And
basic
then
commands.
For a while, like he was just getting used to when I said go to bed,
Mhm.
he would go to the
Go in the kennel. Yeah.
And then I'd put one little, not even treat, but like a dog food.
Yeah.
One
Just
kibble.
so he would know
Yeah.
that it wasn't a bad thing to go in.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Just one little crunchy thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. Oh yeah.
And then how's his, you're probably getting ready to do this, but
Mhm.
how's his bathroom schedule?
Yeah. So now.
Do you want to come in here now? Or?
Yeah. We can walk in. We can walk in. Sure. Good boy.
Would you like a drink of anything?
No, I'm good. I have about 5 bottles of water in my in the car. Thank you. I appreciate it. Cooper. Yes. Come. Yes.
We
Good boy.
stand or sit, or what should we do?
Yeah. Just.
Whatever.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like I said, it's really just us in the room right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Until he gets to that point where he's kind of ready to, enter. Exactly. Yep. Nope. Cooper, come. Good boy. Right here. Yes. Sit. Hey. Sit. Okay. Yeah. So perfect example, right? Now when he's having his moments, right? Can you hold that for me? Just so I can show you how to physically correct him, right?
Yeah.
So there's multiple different ways you can communicate with the dog. Excuse me. Obviously you have visual,
Yeah.
you have audio,
Yeah.
and you have physical.
Yeah.
Right? Now you can also communicate nose, smell, and also taste. Right?
Okay.
But typically, especially if you don't have any food or treats or something like that, right?
Yeah.
The 3 typical ways you're going to communicate with the dog is through audio, visual, and touch.
Yeah.
Right? Now, like we spoke about outside, sometimes they're going to get in a state of mind to where visually they're not paying attention.
Yeah.
Auditory.
They're not listening.
They're not listening, right? So now the last option is touch, right?
Yeah.
So just now I asked him to sit a couple of times.
Yeah.
He didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
He's a living being just like us.
Yeah.
He's going to have moments where he doesn't want to do things that we want him to do.
Yeah.
So now this is where it's more of a corrective form of communication. So you typically save it for last when the visual and audio isn't
Hasn't
working,
worked, yeah.
Right? So I asked him to sit. Hey, sit. Good boy. So of course he did it now.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
But in a situation where he's not sitting, right, all I'm gonna simply do is apply a little pressure, and it's so much harder on a smaller dog than it is on a bigger dog, right? But I'm just gonna apply a little pressure right here on this button.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, it's 2 ways you can do it, right? It's a little harder in the harness to do it with the pressure here.
Yeah.
Right? Because with the harness, it's applying pressure to a larger mass of body, so it's not a pinpoint communication.
Yeah.
But if he has a collar on,
Okay.
that's when just applying
Just
a little
a
pressure.
tug.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's not even a tug, it's just holding it.
Okay.
And that means put your butt on the ground.
Okay.
Right? But the other way to do it is just right here. Good boy. Right? Just a little pressure to the butt. He knows that means put his butt on the ground. Right?
Okay.
So in those moments where you don't have his visual, you don't have his ears, you go to the touch.
Yeah.
And he understands what that means. Yep. The worst thing to do, which is what a lot of people do, because again, frustration and your patience start to wear thin. We start to get louder.
Yeah.
Yelling his name or something.
Yeah.
It's chaos.
Doesn't work.
That actually puts him in a more excited state of mind.
Okay.
Yeah. So the number one thing to do is always stay calm.
Yeah.
and just use the steps.
Okay.
You know, so.
So if he's like going somewhere we don't want him to go, we
Mhm.
can just say like Cooper, come here or something.
So.
Because what she's saying is in that room we have a kitty litter.
Yeah.
Okay, which to the right?
Yes.
Yeah, and we just don't
Okay.
want him to.
We don't want him
He's
going in
allowed
there.
Like if
Okay.
we're leaving and going out the garage, but
Okay.
not in there exploring type of thing. You know what I mean?
Okay. So you can actually teach him. So a barrier doesn't have to be a physical barrier,
Yeah.
Right.
Dogs are very spatially aware.
Yeah.
So you can actually teach him not to go in that space
Okay.
without having a barrier there. Now it takes a little work, right?
Yeah.
So how you do it? Let's say this is the door. Matter of fact, we can go over here and do it.
Okay.
Right? So
Yeah, that's the space.
okay. So what you do, and you have to practice this, right? So if he's off the leash, right?
Yeah.
And you walk in,
Yeah.
normally he's probably gonna follow you, especially
Yes.
because I see his food and stuff in here. So
Yes.
this is where he eats too.
No, he
Okay.
eats over here.
He eats over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's his treats though, and he knows it.
He knows his
Yeah,
treats and stuff
treats
over
are
here.
all over here. Gatsby's feeding station is above her litter
Okay.
box, and then Bailey's food is there.
Okay. So you can, the way you would do this, right? If I'm walking in, right, I know 9 times out of 10 he's behind me.
Yeah.
So as I'm walking in, right, I call it allowing him to fail in a controlled environment.
Okay.
So I'm coming in knowing I'm going to turn around and correct him and stop him from coming in, right?
Yeah.
So as I'm walking in, he's walking, nope. And I put him in a sit. Cooper, sit. Good boy, right? Now we got the leash on him now.
Yeah.
But this is off the leash. Or if you have, excuse me, if you have a like a regular leash,
Yes.
you can put that on him,
Yeah.
and that way you still have that access to him,
Yeah.
but it's not so clumsy, because
Yeah.
it can be a little clumsy for
Yeah.
that kind of training.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can put that leash on him, and as you're walking in, nope, and you just turn and tell him no. Now again, that doesn't mean he necessarily understands that this is off limits yet.
Okay.
right?
Just got to keep doing it.
You got to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Until you get to the point where you walk in
And he doesn't
and he just
come.
stops. That's how you know he knows. At
Okay.
that,
Okay.
right? Now, also what you want to do, you want to reward the fact that he listens, right?
Yeah.
So, I would do this during feeding time.
Okay.
So you got a pocket full of this food,
Yeah.
and a handful of this food.
Yeah.
You test him. Nope. And sometimes I'll just wait for him to sit on his own. If it takes more than 5 seconds, hey, sit. Sit. Right there. Sit. Good. And then reward.
Yeah.
Right? So that way he understands the reward is out here,
Yeah.
not in here.
Yeah.
Right? So, and that's the psychology behind, okay, what is it that I want my dog to do? If he's doing the thing that I want him to do, that's the moment you reward.
Food, attention, whatever. But when he's doing not, then
He gets
say
no.
no and ignore.
Yes, you ignore, the next thing is a correction.
Okay.
Depending on how severe or egregious the behavior is.
Yeah.
Right? So if he's just kind of whining a little bit, I'll ignore that.
Yeah.
Right? Or I may correct it if I feel up to. Right?
Yeah.
It's all about you. It's
Yeah.
all about what you want.
What we're
right?
comfortable with him
What you're
doing.
comfortable with.
Yeah.
So I can ignore a little whine, but if it gets really excessive, then I'll say, hey, cut it out.
Yeah.
Right? If it escalates to a bark, good boy. If it escalates to a bark, hey, nope, that's not what we're doing. Because that bark means
He's frustrated.
he's demanding, right?
Yeah.
No, you don't demand nothing from me.
Yeah.
Everything you got is because of me.
Yeah.
Right? If I didn't give it to you, you wouldn't get it.
Right.
You see what I mean? So,
Yeah.
And that's how I kind of look at it, because at the end of the day, he has this life because of you guys.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Now that sounds like, oh my God, so what's the word? I want to say barbaric, that's not really the
No,
word.
I get it. I
But-
mean, otherwise he's just going to be unruly forever.
Yeah, for sure. So, there you go, good boy. That's a good boy, right? So, perfect example, right? And sometimes all it takes is just a quick verbal,
Yeah.
right? And because he understands what the no and the he understands what that means, right? That
Yeah.
means stop doing what you're doing.
Yes.
Whatever it is, that means stop.
Yes.
Right?
But it's definitely true what you say about his short memory, because then he'll go do it again and
Oh, yeah,
again
for
and
sure.
again.
Dogs, you teach dogs in multiple moments over a long period of time. Whereas humans, we kind of learn in longer moments over longer periods of time, right?
Yeah.
So we'll sit in class for an hour or 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's a lot
That's
of work.
not gonna
Yeah,
happen
it's
for him.
Not gonna happen, right?
How much time a day should we, I mean, obviously just as we're going through day-to-day life, like things are going to come up, but how much time should we spend just practicing things like the threshold or the heel, like
Yes.
all, how, like
There's no better time than now. Every moment is
all
a
the
train-
time?
Every moment is a training moment.
Okay.
Because every moment is real life.
Okay.
Right? Now, there's moments, if you want to, you can set aside 10 or 15 minutes to kind of just focus on one particular thing.
Yeah.
But every day, you got to come in here and feed them.
So it's going to happen anyway. We just
That's a
need to
training
be
moment.
consistent with what he's
Yes.
getting told.
Yes, because that is your system.
Yeah.
So you know, normally if you're coming in here to get the food,
Yeah.
he's gonna follow you.
Yeah.
You're looking for him to follow you.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
right?
And then if he stays, he gets something.
He stays, he gets something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how that works. So every moment is a training moment until they fully understand.
Yeah.
Right? And then when they understand, they still want to try you.
Yeah.
Because they're opportunistic.
Yeah.
Right? So you still have to be aware. I know you know what you're supposed to be doing and not supposed to be doing, but I'm still aware. If you break the rules, you're gonna get corrected.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Any other specific questions?
No, so we put the cat away while he
Okay.
came in.
Okay.
Should we let the cat out?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Should
Yeah,
I
I'll
do
take
that?
yes, ma'am.
Which might come out better for you.
Nope. Good. So the cat is the same thing. The cat is literally the same as the doorway,
Yeah.
right? You guys own the cat,
Yeah.
right?
He wants to play with the cat so bad, but she just doesn't.
She doesn't want to play. Yeah.
Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah. So we wait. He's looking back at me. He hasn't seen her yet.
No idea.
He's gonna get attacked.
Yeah. Nope. Good boy. That's a good boy. Good. So now let's walk to see.
Oh, he's not in the way.
Yeah, sometimes all it takes is that one correction. Sometimes. But that's right now. You know,
Yeah.
tomorrow it may be. Yeah. Because like I said, it takes many short moments over a long period of time, you know, for a dog.
So how we normally are with him is just like, for no reason, we'll start playing with him or like pick him up and cuddle him.
Or I'll
Okay.
play fetch with him.
Do
Okay.
we do none of that unless it's like he's been good.
Okay, say that one more time.
So normally, like for no reason, like especially if he's getting like excitable and like restless,
Okay.
we'll start playing fetch with him
Or take him for a walk, or like if
Yeah.
I feel like he's got energy to burn,
Okay.
then I try to play fetch with him and run around
Okay.
the house. And
Is that still good or?
So I'm going to take a wild guess. After you guys are done, he's probably still not done.
He's not done.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends. Sometimes we
No,
can wear
he's
him out.
never done.
No? Yeah. That's because that's excitement, not exercise.
Okay.
Yeah, even though you're thinking physically we're moving,
Yeah.
so it should be
He has
exercise.
so much energy.
Yeah.
I feel guilty if I let him go a day without like giving him a good
And we
run.
wouldn't,
Yeah.
I think we
Play.
just need to do it more structured, like.
Yeah.
There you
this
go.
is the walk time, this is the food
There you
time,
go.
this is the this time.
There you go.
Because now he's no idea what's coming when, because we do it so loosey-goosey.
I'll tell you what you can do. Instead of playing with a toy, now there's nothing wrong with playtime, right?
Yeah,
But you have to get to the point where you can control it,
Yeah.
where you can turn it on and turn it off.
yeah,
Because if you're doing it when he demands it,
yeah,
then he controls it,
yes,
right? He's saying, I'm not done yet.
yeah.
So
That's when the nipping and
That's
everything else out.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, right? So what you want to do when you see he's getting those moments where he's a little anxious and he wants to do something,
Yeah.
train.
Okay.
Because what that's going to do, right, is not necessarily about the physical, it's more about the mental,
Yeah.
right? You have to challenge him mentally.
Yeah.
That will drain more energy than the physical because again, normally the playing, throwing the ball, that's excitement,
Yeah.
right?
He can do
That
that
act,
forever.
he can do that forever,
Yeah.
right? But what he can't do forever is focus on one thing,
Yeah.
right? That's very hard for a dog to do,
Yeah.
right?
Makes sense.
So especially when you have a dog like him that's again easily excitable,
Yeah.
excitement is regular for him.
Yes.
But calming down, that's hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah.
So the training for him, calm down,
Calming down. Yeah.
relax,
Yeah.
right? Or we're gonna focus on one thing.
Yeah.
I want you to sit right there and don't move.
Yeah.
And every time you move, sit,
Yeah.
sit. I guarantee you after 10 minutes of that, he'll probably go lay down and go to sleep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
That's good.
Oh yeah.
And so his schedule now is it
Mm-hmm.
like, can we set it how breakfast and dinner time is whatever, or walk
Mm-hmm.
time is whatever? Like we just.
Yeah, whatever schedule you guys want. Now, I'll tell you my schedule.
Yeah.
And then, of course, if it changes drastically, you got to give him time
Right.
to adjust to that, right? So typically between 6 and 7 a.m.,
Yeah.
he's going outside.
Yeah.
That's perfect for us.
Yeah, yeah. And I do it like that because I know most people, that's around the time they're letting the dogs out.
Yeah.
So between 6 and 7, he's going outside.
Yeah.
After that, he comes back in.
Yeah.
We do some training,
Yeah.
right, with the food. So a lot of it hand feeding like you saw in the videos.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then he goes back outside for free time, and that's where you saw him in the kennel with the others. So he's outside, playing around,
Yeah.
social time, and all of that
He
stuff.
loves running.
Yeah, yeah. So that's typically how it works now. 12 o'clock, somewhere between 12 and 2, just kind of depending on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
We're coming back in,
Yeah.
right? Or he's already come back in, or if he's outside, just depending on where we at.
Yeah.
We're doing another training session with the food, because that's his lunchtime.
Yeah.
Now, because of the potty training, typically any dog that I'm potty training, they don't eat after 12, right?
okay.
So they get all that they're going to eat
In the morning.
in the morning.
Okay.
So between 7 and 2 at the
Yeah.
latest, I try to make it.
Yeah.
Because, of course, with him being a smaller dog,
Yeah.
the more food he has in his body,
Yeah.
the higher probability that he's going to have to get it out later. And the later you feed him,
The later it can come.
the later it's going to come,
Yeah.
right? Especially with him being such a smaller dog.
Yes.
It's by default, it's going to be harder for him to hold
Trying
it.
to get that thing.
What's that?
Oh,
He's
yeah,
trying to
get out of his
out of
harness.
Oh, yes, good boy. Good boy. Yeah, I'm talking to you, buddy. So that's typically how I do it. About 4 to 5 o'clock at the latest, he gets his last drink.
Yeah.
And that's typically how I set up that schedule.
Okay.
Yeah, at least until, he can control it.
And if he gets
Mm-hmm.
to between 6 and 7, what time is he going in the crate at night?
At night, he's typically in the crate by 8, 8-ish, 9 o'clock. I mean, for the night.
Yeah.
For the night. Now, he may be in and out the crate throughout the day, just depending on what I'm doing, right? And mostly, and I know it's going to be different for you guys, but because I have other dogs and, I have to, I have to keep that control just to, keep. So that's mostly why he's in the crate, like throughout the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the night, somewhere between 8 and 9 o'clock.
8 and 9 o'clock. And
Yeah.
Has he been messing his crate from that?
One time.
In the whole 2 weeks?
In the whole 2 weeks, one time. Yeah, one time. Yep.
So he, like this, I've read that he feels safe in the crate, right? When
Yes.
he gets in there, he feels like that's a
Yeah.
good safe
He's much
place.
better in that smaller one than he is
Yeah,
in the big
when
one.
we had him in a bigger crate,
Yeah.
it was like craziness.
Yeah.
But we put him in that cat size one.
Yep.
He like rarely, he slept all night, every night, like without, almost
But when
without
he's
problem.
trained and potty trained and things like that, we've got no issue with him being in like a bed in our room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or even
Like
on
Like that? Yeah.
Or just Bailey just goes wherever she wants.
Yeah.
Or
She's
open
trained.
crate door if that's how it is.
Yeah.
But I imagine that's where we're talking like a year down the line.
Well, it depends. He's a smart dog, so I don't think it's going to take him super long.
Okay.
But again, it's kind of hard to say because every dog is a little different.
Do you really think he is smart?
Oh yeah, he's a super smart dog.
Okay.
He's far from dumb. Trust me, I've had some dumb dogs. They exist. Trust me, they exist. Just like people. Well, I don't think just looking at him, I don't know. Obviously, I haven't trained him. I just think he's just kind of low key,
No, you haven't missed a thing.
Yeah.
That's the excitement level.
But that's about as much as you're gonna get out of him. Yeah.
That's getting ready to go to the bathroom. That's getting ready to get
Yeah.
Any emotion looks like that.
It looks like that. Yeah. How old is he?
8.
Oh, okay.
When
Yeah.
Pooh
Tries to play with them.
tries to play with her, it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's not. It doesn't mix.
Yeah.
But like that's all. I mean, Coop's just he wants
Yeah,
to play.
he wants to play.
Jump on people. He
Yeah.
wants to jump on. Like I want to play. I want to play.
Yeah.
He's settled down nicely.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, there you go. Now, if he comes to jump on you,
Okay.
verbal correction, because again, that's being rude. You're encroaching my space, right? Now, there's nothing wrong. There you go. Tell him to sit.
Sit. Sit. Sit.
All right. So say it. There you go. Yes.
Sit.
So just one sit. And now what you do, right? Yes, there you go. So you stop the retraction of the leash.
Yeah.
You hold them in place, and then you touch the butt.
Sit.
There you go, right? And if he gets up again, so now, right, because you've told him once, right? The first time it's a command. After that, there's no more commanding, it's correction. Because I know you know what sit means.
Yeah.
Now I know you're excited because you realize I have the leash, right? Or he realizes that you have the leash now, right? So touch the butt again.
Sit.
Right? Now, when you go to touch it, and when I should have said apply pressure. There you go. So
Sit.
there you go. Okay. So what you want to do, right? As you touch, it's a hold. It's just simply saying, hey, this pressure is going to be there until you put your butt on the ground. If you get up again, the pressure comes, right? And all I'm waiting for him to do is stay down. So if you notice, I didn't say nothing to him after the initial command.
Because otherwise it's just not.
It becomes frustration, right?
On both parts.
On both parts, right? Because if you get frustrated, he's for sure going to get frustrated or excited, right? So that's how that touch works. It's just a simple, hey, yes, it's just a little pressure. Yep, there you go. And if he pops up, nope.
No.
And there you go. Apply the pressure again. Good. Now with a little less, you don't want to force him down.
Okay.
He knows what that touch means, right? As soon as you kind of apply that touch, you see how even when I go to do it, he's going down, right? So he knows what that means. So you don't have to force him down.
Okay.
You see?
At first you got a hand thing or on a video.
Yes.
It's like do this.
That means sit. Yep. That means sit. That means down.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. And so then, jumping ahead,
Yes.
when we want to do shake, like how do you do that?
Oh my God, that's not run before.
Yep. So it's very simple. It's the same concept as teaching to sit or down, right? So, excuse me, all you're going to do is you're going to grab his paw and say shake. Good boy. Right now, in the beginning, you're going to be rewarding him for something that he doesn't even understand yet, right? But what you're doing is what we call shaping the behavior, right? He'll start to catch on. Now, you're going to do that. Excuse me. Let's say you do it 10 to 15 times. You grab the paw, say paw, release the paw, say good boy, right? Give him a food. I like to use food because I got to feed the dog anyway.
Yeah.
So you give him a treat. After the 15th time, you say paw and check to see if he just gives it to you. Right? That's what you're checking for.
Yeah.
So every, incremental 10 to 15 reps, paw and see if he gives it to you. Right? If he gives it to you, good boy, the biggest, right? So, and that's how you kind of build that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
So what's the stage of like getting him off his lead and out of his harness, or do I not do that at all for a while?
So what I would say is grab the other lead and keep that on him, I'd say for at least the first week.
Oh, the whole time?
Yes, of course, unless he's in the kennel or something like that. But that just gives you access because remember, he's quicker than you guys. You- right? He's smaller. It's much easier for him to disappear and do things. So what that leash does, it gives you quicker access without having to touch him. Right? Because what happens is two things. He's going to run away or he's going to think it's playtime. You see? So now what that leash does, it gives you immediate access. Like, nope, it's not playtime. I'm serious. But if I have to try to get to him, it's too much. Oh yeah, yeah. So it makes it much easier to communicate and have him understand what's going on compared to if you got to actually touch him. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yep. You can. You can just let him drag it. You know. Yeah. No, you don't have to hold it. No, the leash in the
Just
house.
saying, make it easier for you to grab him.
Yeah, in case you got to
Grab him,
correct
he's
them.
gonna think you're playing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah.
Is it in the hallway?
That was the only leash. Yeah. And I have his stuff in the car too. I'll go grab that in a minute.
I don't know what pocket it would be.
Oh, okay.
This one, we can do this one for now. It's all right. It'll be all right.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Yeah. Yeah. So so perfect example, right? Before you take it off. So remember now it's about associating behaviors with actions. Normally when you go to put a leash on, that means excitement for the dog. So now what we want to start doing is associating calm with the leash. So now when you present the leash to him, right, he has to either sit or go down, right, as opposed to what he normally does, right? Because that, for him, the leash is a reward. Because that normally means I'm going outside, I'm doing something I want to do, right? So, yeah. Yeah. Now, if he starts to get up and be excited, right, that's when you simply take the leash away and say, no. There you go. Now you can go put it on again. Take it away. Yep. Say no. Put him in the sit. We'll take that for now. Okay, so now you can present the leash again. There you go. Yeah.
I taught him
Oh man. Yeah, it's literally a game of waiting for the behavior that you want. That's literally all it is, right? That's literally all it is. Like if you break it down to the most simple, I put it to you like this. In order to get dogs smarter, we have to become dumber. Right? Until he gets it. Dogs are very black and white. Like there's very little gray with dogs, like very little, right? We complicate things with all the gray that humans create. But dogs are very black and white. Like almost like that, like black and white. So, it's literally, I'm trying to put it in words to where like it clicks. You know what I mean? Like this was a perfect example. Oh, you're standing up. I don't like that. Nope. Let me take the reward away. I want you to sit when I put this leash on. I'm not putting it on until you're like this. You can. Yes. Now, perfect example, right? If he gets excited, just like the leash, you take it away, right? Because what we're telling him is, I want to give you love, but I don't want you pawing and pouncing and doing all of that. So, good. And now you can go pet him again. If he gets excited, you take it away. There you go. Yeah. So going forward, that's how he gets affection.
What is he eating now? Nothing.
Yeah. Any other questions?
No, I think that's good. What's next then? We just stick with the routine.
So for the next week to 2 weeks,
Yeah.
kind of depending on how you guys, adjust and how you feel about it,
Yeah.
set your rules, boundaries, and limitations, because it's going to be slightly different from me,
Yeah.
So figure out what it is, your flow, figure out what that is, and kind of perfect that flow, right? Now, obviously, in between time, you guys can call or send a, message in the WhatsApp. That group doesn't go anywhere unless you guys delete the app. So you can always reach out and say, hey, I want to do this. I'm not quite sure how to do it, whatever it is, and I'll help you implement it.
Okay.
Remember, you have 3 follow-up sessions.
Yeah.
So after, like I said, after you kind of get comfortable with the system, then we can say, okay, what's next? Like, what's the next big thing I want to implement? We can figure that out and set it up from there.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
So when you put him out to go to the bathroom, for us it's going to be 2 separate things. Bathroom is one thing, and running around is taking off is another thing.
Yes.
Do you take him out there on the leash and hold, and then
You can do that.
give commands, or how are you doing?
So how do you guys normally let him out?
Yeah.
Well, that can work too.
Okay.
That can work. Yeah. I'm assuming he can't get through the.
No, I fixed the fence, so it's
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Honestly, as long as it's not like crazy weather,
Yeah.
I'll just leave him out there.
Yeah.
You guys don't have any like hawks or anything like that out here, right?
Not really. No.
So he could stay out there for a little bit and play if he wanted to.
I just want
Absolutely.
to make sure that when we put him out, go to the bathroom, he goes to
He
the
knows he's
bathroom.
going to the bathroom.
And then
Yeah. So the thing about especially if you create a system, so he knows 6 to 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Typically, he's going to have to use the bathroom around that time, right?
Yeah, he's always good first thing.
Yeah.
And so
Yep.
then what happens if he messes in the house? How do you correct that?
You don't.
You just let it run.
Honestly, it's one of those things. Once it's
'Cause they
done,
don't know.
they don't. Yeah. They don't think retroactively like that.
Should we have a pad out?
You can.
Or
Because he was good at the pad.
He's
Yeah.
getting better and better
When
every
he
day.
was in a bind, he was going on the pad.
On the pad. So what you can do, right? If it's a situation where it's raining outside or the weather is super cold or something like that.
Bothered by any of that.
He
This
doesn't
one
care at
was-
all.
Yeah.
he's got it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 But I mean, even if you don't, whatever it is,
Yeah.
and you're stuck in the house, create a space, like a small space, right? So maybe it's his kennel
Yeah.
and literally just enough space for the pad.
Okay.
So you can get like the playpens.
We have one.
You got one? Yeah. So that way, right? All he has
Outside time instead of being outside is just that. bit.
is just that space, especially when you know it's around that time he needs to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
You can put him in that space,
Yeah.
and all he has is his kennel and the pee pad. Yeah.
And then so just feed them in the morning time is enough.
Yeah.
That's what I like to do.
And it sounds like we're going to be giving him food as like, can I let this go now?
Yeah, for sure.
It sounds like we're going to be giving him food throughout the training. So
Yeah.
we'll have enough, and then just at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, as long as you understand.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We've got to go stick to it though.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as he leaves, I'm going to tackle him.
Yeah.
No.
Oh man.
Because then it just undoes it all. We're gonna just have to be really strong for the next year.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna.
And I don't think it's gonna take that long, to be honest.
Hey,
He's not jumping on her.
Yeah.
but she didn't even want to be snipped.
Say, I want to play.
Not gonna happen. Super.
Yeah. All right.
So we have these stairs,
Mm-hmm.
and like when we watch TV, the Bailey will get up on the.
Okay.
Is there a way to teach them or do you just use treats to teach them to? If I pull the stairs over to this, and we want to
Teach him how to get up on
yeah, and down.
I'm not worried about that. Yeah.
Is it the same thing, just like with treats and stuff like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. What you can do, you can just put a treat on a step at a time.
Yeah.
And you can actually, so you can stand behind the steps. So if you put the steps on, like on that side. Good boy.
Boy.
So yeah, so you can put the steps like, on this side.
Yeah.
You can kind of kneel on this side, put a treat on one step, right? Or you can lure him up the steps, right? There's a couple of ways you can do it. Luring is probably a little better because now you can control the treat.
That's true.
So it's kind of like the carrot dangling in front of the horse, right?
Makes sense.
Yeah, and all you're doing is presenting the treat, and what you're using is frustration to motivate him to go up the step, right? So eventually, if he wants the treat bad enough, he's gonna come up the step to get it. Once he does it, you give him the treat, good boy. And eventually he'll pick up on, going up the steps. Ain't that right, Coop? Yeah, so, but yeah, that's how that works. Yep. Oh yeah.
Want to get his stuff out the car then?
Yeah, I grab his stuff. Yeah, no problem.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Keep posted and ask you if you've got any questions.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, let me go grab his things.
Coop, Coop,
Come.
where you going?
Come on, let's go.
Come here, Coop. Coop.
There you go. Good. Nope. Nope. Back. Nope. And there we go, beautiful people. That's how you do a drop off after a 2-week training program. Talk to you guys soon.